Welcome to Best Laid Schemes. Take two. Had a failed streaming effort slightly earlier, but we're back online now. We are playing D&D in the Mythic Odysseys of Theros universe. My name's Chris. With me are Adrienne, Darren, Jill, and Mark. And where we left things last session, the party have been doing a bunch of investigations in the city of the polis of Melitis. Last session, Shade was betrayed by her underworld contact, who tried to murder the party. Didn't try hard enough. They got away. And the party did a little bit of investigation and then retired for a picnic by the docks, as they had a little time to kill. So, party, what would you like to do?
Well, I think we'd made a decision to go around the temples and try and use the necklace to flush out the necklace we got off the Cadmus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To try and flush out any bad guys that might be hiding in the temples.
Okay, so what is
So I'll go along with that.
What is your plan with this necklace?
I think we just we're going to have a look at the temples, see if anybody looks suspicious.
Mm-hmm. You would all know that Fenax is a generally unpopular god, the god of trickery and deceit. So not generally one that most people would build temples to.
No, so we're thinking the temple they meant wasn't his temple.
Mm-hmm. So what's your plan with the little Fenax symbol?
Well, I think that what we'd come up with last time was that we would go to a temple of a sort of regular god and flash it around a bit and see if anyone looked spooked. Of course, they might be spooked by the fact it's a symbol of Fenax generally, but we thought that maybe they might, if there was, because we'd had that letter, we'd found that letter that said that Cadmus was supposed to be meeting someone at a temple.
Yes.
We thought that if someone was at the temple and saw the necklace, they might either run for it or try and kill us. So it's one of our usual subtle plans where we.
Yeah, but you're all official. Do you have a badge?
A badge?
Yeah. Do you have some sort of?
It doesn't need a badge. Look at those thorns.
Yeah. But I'm just saying he can. But we could do it sort of officially, unofficial.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm that good at doing that. Well, don't really like, the old lying stuff.
Yeah, but it isn't lying. You've been asked to go and find out. We'd been asked to go and find out about the blue fletching. Just because we did find out about it doesn't mean we can't ask a bit more.
I mean, I could just take the necklace in with my sort of uniform on and say, does anyone know who this belongs to? That might be enough.
Yeah, especially if you mention the blue fletching as well. That surely we might be able to find somebody who wants to disappear off and find Cadmus, and then we can follow them.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we start at the biggest temple?
The biggest temple in Melitis is the temple to Ephara.
Well, I mean, if we don't know which one it is, so maybe that's the best one to start at. Do we think?
Okay. So you make your way up the hill. The temple to Ephara is quite high up the hill. It has pride of place on the hillside. It is a large pillared Parthenon-like structure, and out in front there is a statue of Ephara, the goddess of the polis. She is, if I remember correctly, she is pouring water from an amphora. This place is busy. There are people heading in and out. People stopping by to make a quick prayer. There are priests milling around. What are you going to do?
Do you three want to sort of position yourselves around the building and try and spot anything unusual, and I'll go in and ask about
Yeah, that sounds.
I suppose we could. I kind of feel like we're on the wrong track here. I mean, Farah's a good egg, you know. Seems wrong.
Huh?
You feel like we need to go somewhere else, but
Well, it didn't mean that the temple's wrong. It's just it might just be a meeting place. It's busy. People might not notice. People, you know.
And
Meeting.
I mean, if a worshipper of Venax is involved, then won't they be a liar, and therefore they could be pretending to be someone in Ephara's temple? So it'd be better to get them out get them out in the open if they were hiding amongst the good priests.
that point. That's also a good point. Everyone's full of good points today. Well done.
Because we've
Okay.
all eaten. We've all had lunch. I don't make good decisions on an empty stomach.
Okay, so Derekles is going to head inside, and the rest of you are waiting, trying to cover the exits. Is that right?
Yeah, but you might want to keep an eye on me and what I'm actually doing. Something might happen nearby. But who's got the actual necklace?
I've got it with me, so I'll hand it to you.
Okay, thank you. Hey, I'll go up the steps and approach the nearest priesty-looking person.
Okay. You do draw a few glances as you enter the temple. There are, there are minotaurs in Meletis, but not so many in the temple to the goddess of the polis. So you attract a few interested glances. Although mostly, as soon as they realise that you are wearing a tabard of the Reverend Army, then they don't pay you much more attention than that. Who are you looking for, in particular? Anyone in particular?
Unless an obviously high priest is hanging around, then I will look for a junior priest, and I can be taken to see the high priest.
Hello. Well, yes. Sorry. What is your name, and why do you wish to speak to the high priest?
I'm Lieutenant Derekles of the Reverend Army, and I just need to ask if the high priest or any of the other priests around here know anything about who this necklace might belong to, and I'll hold it up.
Okay. The acolyte glances at it and looks taken aback, and he kind of like lowers your hand and says, "Why do you bring this here?"
Because it's
Take it
important. It's important business.
To bring holy symbols of Phenax into the temple?
It's important military. The person that this belonged to is supposed to be meeting someone at a temple, and it's important that we find out who it belonged to.
I assure you, no worshippers of Phenax will be meeting here. Well, Not that we know of. Okay, I take your point. I will see if the High Priestess is available. And he strides off, looking a bit agitated. You are left waiting for 5 minutes or so, and then you are approached by a woman in a white robe, very, very dark skin. Almost looks Nyxborn, but she's not. She's just very dark. She's got big gold hoop earrings, and she's carrying a holy symbol, which is like the statue outside, an amphora pouring water.
I'll bow respectfully.
Good afternoon. How can I help you? I understand you have some evidence that you wanted to show us?
Yes, I'm sorry to trouble you, Holy Mother, but this necklace, I'll show it to her, was found on the body of a thief who was also carrying a note that said that he was due to be meeting someone at a temple, and I'm simply making inquiries to see if, I mean, obviously you'll recognize the symbol, but if you are aware of anything or anyone who might be connected to this incident.
I'm unaware of any such thing, but bear with me a moment. She closes her eyes, holds her holy symbol, and mutters to herself for a moment, and then looks around. Well, I can sense no ill intent nearby, but I would have to. It is a big temple, and I would have to walk the boundaries to be certain there was no one here at this moment. I do not know what we can do to help you. If worshippers of Phenax have chosen to meet here, they could meet outside or even within the temple. There is little we would be able to do to stop them.
Of course, but I'm merely conducting as thorough inquiries as possible, and if you have seen, or any of your acolytes have seen anyone acting suspiciously in the area recently, then if you could let me know, that would be helpful. If any unusual activity has taken place, any thievery or anything from within the temple, then it could all point to the perpetrators of this particular event.
We will bear that in mind. Your name is Derekles, I believe?
Yeah, Lieutenant Derekles of the Revenant Army.
Very well. I will spread the word that you are investigating this, and we will come and I will send word to the militia barracks if anything is discovered.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Go with the Father's blessing.
Bow
Have any
again.
of us seen anything while this has been going
Any
on?
dodgy people
No,
about?
it's pretty busy. There is inside the temple. Basically, there's another statue of Ephara, but there are all sorts of. It's used as a meeting place for and a discussion forum for all sorts of people. So there are little groups of philosophers debating things. There are bards performing over to one side. It is it's basically a kind of hub of the community, and it's basically freely available for people to meet and converse and entertain each other. So it's not thick crowds, but there's just a lot going on. So it's very difficult to recognise if anyone's even noticed Derekles talking to the priestess.
Okay.
I'll leave the temple,
Okay.
go back to the others.
So we're next.
What
temple?
what's the next biggest temple?
Let's see. The next biggest one is probably. Let's see. There's almost certainly there will be a temple to Heliod, not too far away. Let's see. Probably.
What was the initial on the
On the letter, it was S.
That's going to help loads, isn't it?
Let's see. There will be the next biggest will be the Temple of Heliod. There will be a temple to Thassa down by the docks. There will be, let's see, a temple to probably a small temple to Iroas.
Can we go to the Heliod temple?
Yes.
Oh, let's not.
Yeah, but can't we just find some heads to bang together?
All in good time.
Yeah.
If they're going off to the Heliod temple, do you mind if I split the party and nip off to the barracks? I have
Can I come with
something
you?
I need to do.
Handle. Can I come with you?
Okay.
If you want.
So, Derekles and Hester, are you going with him to Temple of Heliod?
Yeah.
Okay. The Temple of Heliod is smaller than Ephara's, but a similar design. The statue and it's only a little way along the road. The statue outside is of a man with a sun headdress, holding a very ornate spear. It looks like looks really elaborate, highly decorative. You're not sure if it's supposed to represent what it actually, whether it's actually that shape or whether it's supposed to represent light beams coming off it or something. It's quite stylized, and this temple is angled so that there are a number of openings in the roof and the walls in between the pillars, so that the sun can shine through into the interior. It's not so busy here.
Doesn't look likely for sneaky people, but
Yeah.
I'll go through the same procedure. Try and find an acolyte, and then try and be referred to the high priest or priestess.
You get a similar reaction from the acolyte, but they go and fetch someone in authority. Just while you're waiting, looking around you, the Temple of Heliod is full of a lot of important-looking people having discussions and so on. This is much less of a community space. It feels more formal. The discussions that people are having here, people are just meeting to discuss business. There is an interior to this temple. You're aware that this is effectively the city's courthouse as well. So when you've criminals that you've arrested, you've often had to bring down to the temple of Heliod to be tried. Heliod is the ultimate arbiter of law.
Just where criminals would sneakily hang out. Yeah.
Are there any books? Prayer
There,
books, anything at all?
not so that there's not that much in the way of books in the city. It's mostly wax tablets or chalk tablets.
Can I just go read them? I'm getting a bit distracted by how lovely this place is.
Yeah, there are some. Well, there's some prayers and invocations to Heliod carved into the walls, as well as a whole bunch of frescoes telling stories of Heliod's accomplishments and
That's where I'm.
and so on. Okay, right. So yes, you can.
Being of no help whatsoever, I'm sidetracked completely.
So yeah, there's you can see there is a fresco that depicts the birth of Heliod, the first of the gods, and showing him creating the sun, and then when he and then turning to see his own shadow, and banishing his shadow to the underworld.
Just propaganda.
So according
Awesome.
according to this fresco, basically the Erebos, the god of the underworld, is the shadow of Heliod, banished to watch over the land of the dead. Derekles, a man approaches you. He is a tall figure, white-haired, quite thin. He is wearing white and gold robes with a kind of like sun motif, so that like where the collar is is all golden like a sun, and there is embroidery framing that with golden rays leading out from the collar. Can I help you?
Yes. I'm sorry to bother you, but I am Lieutenant Derekles with the Reverend Army, and I'm in the middle of an investigation. We killed a thief who was carrying this symbol of Venax. And I was wondering whether, I mean, obviously you're aware of Venax, whether you're aware of any criminals that have been through this place who are attached to a cult of Venax, or anything anything suspicious such as that.
I can't say that I have. The underbelly of even such a glorious city polis as Melitis will always attract ne'er-do-wells who follow such cults. But I'm not aware of any organised followings of Venax in our polis. Did you say Derekles?
Yes.
Were you instrumental in closing the... He lowers his voice. Closing the portal to the underworld recently?
Myself and of my friends were involved in that, yes.
It is you. Excellent work. Thank you.
Thank you.
The polis could use more citizens with your sort of attitude. Well
Thank you.
done. Now,
Thank you.
as I say, I cannot help you, but I will ask around and see if I can turn up anything. It's good to know that you're looking out for the interests of the city.
Thank you. The strange thing was that this thief was also carrying a note that suggested that he was due to be meeting someone with the initial S at a temple within the city. Now, I mean, I presume it wouldn't be here, of course, but do you think any of the temples within the city would be sympathetic to Vanak's worshippers?
It's not a lot to go on now, is it?
It's not, but
I think, unfortunately, there are so many temples. It could be any number of different ones, and of course there are temples outside the polis too. All of the citizens like to have a place where they can say their prayers. So every fishing village, every farm settlement, even outside the walls of the polis, will have some sort of temple or shrine. It really doesn't narrow it down very much. Do you have any other leads that could shed a little more light?
not at present. I'm just being as thorough as possible by investigating all of the temples.
Good man, good man. That will take some time, though.
Of course.
While Derekles is talking, and
Yes.
I'm kind of captivated by these murals on the walls.
Okay.
I'm kind of forgetting myself, and I cast Thaumaturgy, and I'm going round each sort of station one by one.
Okay.
And I'm creating a sound or sounds that fit the picture. So I'm trying to tell the story.
Okay.
I'm
One
going
of
round.
you are approached by an acolyte in robes, similar in design to the high priests, but much plainer. Just a simple, basically like a yellow collar with some simple embroidery to make it look like a sun, and rather than gold. And she has long black hair tied back, and she says, "You are enjoying the frescoes, I see."
They're beautiful.
I heard the sound you're making. You are. It is nice to hear. I'm afraid
so
you were,
sorry.
but I enjoyed it.
Oh,
It is nice to hear the stories brought to life. Are you a bard?
I am not. I'm a simple cleric, but I was taken with the story. It felt like it needed telling.
Well, would you like any more information about the tales of Heliod?
I really would.
Okay. Well, she will basically happily sort of embellish on the frescoes there, and fill you in with additional stories that link in with those tales. So
Awesome. I'm going to
yeah.
do lots of. And what does this bit mean? And what bit? And
Yeah.
how does that work?
Okay, so you pick up the over. I won't go into the details of all of the tales, but basically, Heliod, it personifies the sun and daylight, and so he symbolically the sun rising every morning, that kind of like rhythm of that faithful rhythm of sunrise is associated with oaths and bonds. So basically, the temple is used as a court. Marriage vows are sworn on Heliod's name. He is the arbiter of morality, virtue, and honour.
Wow.
So yes, so he is, and he is firmly set against chaos and lawlessness.
I've completely forgotten that I was there with Derekles.
Okay, brilliant. So, Derekles, when if you've nothing else to ask the high priest.
No, I haven't.
No, okay.
But before I leave
yeah.
the temple, I'm just going to stand right in the middle of it and cast Divine Sense.
Ooh.
Okay. Let me just double check. What? Divine Sense is... Can you fill me in what that does? Precisely.
I can detect evil. And
Oh, okay.
I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. It's not behind total cover.
Okay, so
I think I can also detect the presence of any place or object that's been consecrated on.
Okay. Let's see. You won't get. Let's see. Ooh. 60 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, you don't.
Middles to try and get as much of the building in as possible.
Okay, you would know that this sense is really most useful for detecting really powerful evil such as undead or fiends. It is not really sensitive enough to pick out the shades of grey that make up maybe sort of like a human criminal.
No, I'm mainly trying to pick up on, because this whole thing we're investigating is connected with the returned and everything. I'm just trying to see if there are any undeady type people sort of hiding in plain sight.
Okay. Well,
and also if there are any, even if they aren't undead, if there are any sort of powerful evil objects around that might be in some way connected to the thing we're investigating.
Well, you satisfy yourself that there is nothing of that sort in the immediate vicinity.
Okay.
So, but as you look around the temple and like people bustling around, you notice that Hester is deeply engaged in an animated conversation with one of the acolytes of Heliod, and the two of them are pointing at the frescoes and chatting.
No, well, I'll probably just leave it to it, and and I'll just continue my thankless task of visiting temples.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay, fair enough. To cut a long story short, yeah, the principal ones. I mean, there are small shrines to some of the more obscure gods in the corners of the city, but you're not actually certain where to find some of those. The next most obvious one is a temple to Thassa down by the docks that the sailors tend to frequent. She's the goddess of the sea, and there isn't. Let's see. You'll find that there's probably quite a few little shrines to Karametra or Nylea around the city in various places. Some of them are kind of like public just like publicly available shrines that just happen to be in the city. Some are like some shops have little shrines built into the wall and so forth. The gods are very much present and active in Theros society. But you get a broadly similar response from all of them. There are so many temples, they could be meeting anywhere.
Yeah.
But you are certainly thorough.
Yeah, I'm also, by doing that, attempting to draw attention to myself, so that if anybody evil is looking around for, thing, then they might be, might try and kill me at some point, and then I can apprehend them in the name of good and everything.
Classic move.
When I've finished all that, I'll go back to the barracks.
Okay.
At the end of the day.
Okay. Yes. So. I'm Hester. I assume that when you realise that you've been chatting for an hour or two and Derekles has moved on, what would you do? Would you presumably return to the barracks too?
Well, after I've spent a while looking around for him,
yeah,
because I really wanted to show him this one particular picture, I give up and go to the barracks.
Okay, fine. So, before that happens, though, Pimz and Shade, you head over to the barracks.
Why are we going to the barracks?
I wanted to check up on our prisoner, and I needed to have a quick word with Titus.
Oh, fair enough. I'm just, they're wasting the time going around these temples. Who's going? I don't know. Who is going to go? Oh yeah, that's my necklace. No, it's just not going to happen. And I could be wrong, but I think S is like one of the most common letters for names. So,
That makes sense.
Yeah. Can we not just go and beat somebody up?
That sounds fun.
What about some of your underworld friends? I don't mean underworld, I mean underworld. Yeah?
Well, that's why we were going to have a quick word with the prisoner. And I've got something I need to ask him as well. But I thought we could, maybe put a bit of pressure on.
Okay. Do you want me to stand behind you and not, like... How about that? Hang on, I'll just take my shirt off.
Oh, no. Put it on. Put it back on.
I can stand behind you, look tough.
Let's see. Shade, Pimz, actually, could you just quickly make... actually, no. Not now. Captain Elias recognises you and greets you, and will happily show you to the cell in the basement where the prisoner is being held.
Who's the prisoner again?
He is one of the thugs that you fought in the warehouse.
Yeah.
He knew Shade, and Shade, you didn't know him. You were not friends, but you had kind of like perhaps worked together once or twice.
And he said he was just doing a job for money, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Do you believe him?
Right, let's find out.
Okay.
So, is he going to let us go into to go and speak to him? Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Right, well, I'd like to go up to him and basically lean really close and say, Erebos wants you, and I saved you. So... to stop me collecting like I should do, I think maybe you should do something for us.
The thug looks to have partially recovered from his injuries.
Okay.
He's not been magically healed, but he's been bandaged, and so he's just resting on a pallet in the cell. And he turns his head, sort of lolls his head to look at you. Shade. What do you want?
Well, what I'd like you to do is help us with what you can, and also I'd like you to, if I go and get the priest of Erebos, I'd like you to dedicate the rest of your life to him. Otherwise, the rest of your life will be rather short.
You're serious?
Yeah, we might even be able to get you out of here if we do that.
He just looks so tired and defeated.
Yeah.
He kind of nods slowly at you.
Okay. Right.
Very well.
So
I will.
The other thing was
to Erebos.
Good. Right. The other thing was, Cadmus had a note on him where somebody wanted to meet him at the temple, and we know he was a Phenax worshipper. Would you know where that would be?
Not precisely.
No, but would you know what information do you have?
He had a rendezvous point somewhere outside the polis.
Okay.
He would go and meet her there.
Right.
His contact. I don't know her name. He occasionally referred to her as her, but I could not tell you which temple or what name.
Right.
He was, as far as he was concerned, it was another job. I think it was something long term. It wasn't just this job. He hired people for a number of other different jobs around the city. I don't know what those things were.
Okay.
You
rest
he
there.
He was pretty secretive, as you would expect.
And I'm gonna go and find Ty. Did you want to say anything, Pimz, to him? Did you want to ask now, while he's so talkative?
No, but when we're going to leave, I'm just going to lean forward. I'm going to pat him on the shoulder and go, "Cheers, mate."
I'm just gonna go and if I can get to speak to Titus.
Yeah, Titus is around. He's basically been sort of like they've cleared out a storeroom and moved a pallet from one of the barracks in there to give him a private room, to make him as comfortable as possible.
Right.
So yeah, he's around. Shade, it is good to see you again.
How goes your preparations?
Well, I am ready to return to my shrine.
I thought you were going to talk
to
the...
Those preparations. Yes, well, it is... I will have to wait until tomorrow morning.
Right.
If you remember, I will... I will have to rest, and then I can um,
I have
pray to Erebos.
a sort of request of you, really, and a bit of advice. You know, asking a bit of advice. In our artistic encounter, where Cadmus and a few died, one was saved, and he's willing to become a follower of Erebos. And I was thinking maybe, as he really doesn't know a lot, that maybe if he was spared from jail, he would come back to the temple with you.
What an interesting thought. Yes. I will admit I could use some help at the shrine. The villagers do occasional favors for me, but there's still a fair amount of upkeep.
He knows
How
he
have you-
belongs to Erebos because he should have been dead.
Oh, I see.
Then I thought
Yes.
he would be useful.
Well then, if he is willing to make this pledge, yes.
I don't
Then
know how
perhaps-
we would get him out of
I think the simplest option would be to speak to the guard captain and see if they are willing to make such arrangements.
Okay.
Especially if he has been cooperative.
Oh. And useful.
Well then, we can. I think that is an excellent idea.
Right.
So, in the morning, yes, I will. I will wait for you all to arrive, and then we can have a think about what you wish to ask this.
I have
body.
a feeling they might want to ask something different than I want to ask. I might have to wait to.
I can ask 5 questions.
Right.
And so yeah, you can have a think about what you need to know.
Okay.
And if you come prepared, it will not take very long.
Well, if you want to go down to the cells, what was this thug called? Does he have a name? Thug number 1.
That's what I called him. That's what I called him on the battle map. I will find you a name for him. Bear with me. I'll tell you in a moment.
Oh yeah. So he has to go down and see if it's worth it. But yeah, so I'd like to go and speak to Derekles' boss.
Right.
Before they get back, before somebody decides it's not the thing to do.
Okay, yeah. The Captain Elias is there at the barracks, so yeah, you can find him easily enough.
Okay.
Hello, Shade. He says.
I didn't know you knew who I was.
Can I just ask? Sorry. Can I just ask? Is he at a table or anything like that?
He is. Sorry, yeah. He will be. Let's see. Probably overseeing training in the courtyard behind the barracks.
Yeah.
Oh, Pimz, are you going to show up? Are you going to show them how? No, sorry. Are you going to show them how it's done?
Is there anything like lying around? I think Pimz is just like he's getting a bit bored.
Yeah, I think you should. While I speak
yeah,
to
is there
what's
anything
his
you
name?
just pick up and mess about with?
Oh, I mean, there's plenty of training weapons and bows and arrows around. There are some sort of like straw-filled training dummies.
He starts taking out. I take out my glaive and I start like just poking at the straw dummy.
Okay.
And wheedling it a bit, just kind of in a sort of bored kind of way.
What you need to do is have a straw dummy in front of you and behind you, and show them how brilliant you are.
There are some trainees in the courtyard who sort of like slowly begin to stop their training to and whisper amongst themselves and just stand and watch you.
Yeah, okay. I ask them if they've got another dummy, another straw dummy.
Maybe one of them would stand behind you.
They, another one. We can move.
Yeah.
We can move these two closer together.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
understand.
Well, and then I'm going to arrange them the way Shade suggested, one in front and one behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try and do like a sweeping attack.
Go on, make a roll.
Using one of my superiority die.
What armor class do straw dummies have?
Well, it will be 10, but you can roll with advantage because they're only dummies.
Alright. Bear with me a second.
What's the superiority die?
It's a fighter thing.
Yeah.
There are certain feats that you are.
I could do a sweeping attack.
Yeah, if you want to.
So I roll a so I rolled a 19.
Okay. Go on.
Glaive.
Yeah, roll damage.
Hold on a sec. I'm suddenly forgetting that everything is. Oh, that's rather boring. Only 5 points of damage. But I'm going to make it a sweeping attack by using a superiority die, which means when I hit with a melee weapon attack, you can expend one superiority die to deal damage to another creature within 5 feet.
Okay.
So okay, so I do to that 1 point of damage.
Okay. Well, you.
I'm going to shout. I'm going to call over to Pimz. Pimz.
Show off. Yeah.
That was great. You pulled those blows perfectly. Don't damage the dummies too much, okay?
Yeah, all right.
You're even though you didn't sort of like cleave anything in twain, the fact that you're using a glaive draws a lot of attention because everybody here is being trained in much more basic practical weapons like short swords, gladius, and so on. They don't have your kind of like gladiator skill with such varied weapons. So yeah, you're just doing your like sweeping attack. The way that you whirl your glaive around your head and it sort of like flies around you. You need a good sort of like 10-foot clearance all around you to swing this thing. Yeah, it's quite impressive. People are muttering amongst themselves.
See, and you'll notice there how I didn't actually hit either of them very hard because this is all about technique. It's not about trying to make a killing blow. You keep the killing blows for when you need them. And at this moment, this is all about poise, balance,
technique,
distance.
Pimz has gathered a little crowd of trainees around him. Over in the corner, there is kind of like a trainer looking kind of miffed, but also kind of intimidated. Captain
Now,
Elias.
let me, and then I'm going to pull out my lute and say, now let me sing you a song about when I destroyed everything in the underworld. Ding, ding. No.
Okay, well, you make a performance roll and let me know. Well, Captain Elias turns to Shade and says, "Did you get anything useful from him?"
Yes, we did actually. Or at least a starting point. Had a word with Titus and our thug in the cells.
Myron.
What would you say
He gave his name.
if I said that he's decided to follow of Erebos, and if Titus is leaving, I thought maybe the thug would make a good bodyguard for him, and then it would also be one less criminal in your city.
Do you think he's trustworthy?
He's a hired, yeah, I've worked with him a few times, but basically, it's money.
Captain Elias raises an eyebrow.
Wow.
Well,
you bump into all sorts of people in the city. I didn't say what I was doing. Yeah, he's just
hired muscle.
Yeah, hired muscle. So, but it would be one less in the city.
Are you asking for us to release him into Titus' custody?
Yes. He's marked for Erebos.
If you and Titus,
whether it's now or another day.
If you and Titus are willing to take responsibility for him, then that will save us the trouble of a trial. I'm happy to do that. I'm aware that he's a just hired muscle, and as you say, if you were able to get any information from him, then good. In the meantime, Titus is resting. Have your investigations into temples turned up anything?
I don't know. We're waiting for
I see.
for the rest of them to turn up.
Fair enough.
Probably not.
Is
Pimz, how was your performance roll?
8.
Okay. As soon as you start playing, as soon as you start playing, sort of like people start drifting away and going back to their training.
I'm gonna tune my lute. It must have got a tune. I sit there just ding 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 ding.
Okay. So, Shade, did you want to do anything else? Otherwise, we can fast forward to when the others arrive.
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
fast forward to them.
Okay, fine. So, the afternoon passes. You're able to spend. Pimz amuses himself with his lute and probably does a little bit more training and so forth. You are able to spend a little time chatting to Titus, if you wish, and picking up some insights into what it means to be faithful to Erebos, and as the sun begins to sink, Derekles and Hester arrive in the barracks.
Cool.
Okay.
Did you have a fun time this afternoon?
Well, I wouldn't call it fun so much, but I'm well. I've covered most of the temples in the city, and I don't think that I haven't come across any signs of any of them being involved.
We got a bit of information.
Oh, what was that?
Well, Cadmus met his contact outside the palace. And
Well,
it's
that
a
would
woman.
fit with my investigations that the
And it's
ones inside the city aren't involved.
that's a woman.
Okay.
And that's about it.
I've had a thought. I think maybe the S stand for secret.
Maybe.
Could be.
Maybe not.
There must be a lot of shrines just outside the city, though.
Yeah, but Titus will find out tomorrow. Oh, we can ask 5 questions.
You're very quiet, Darren. Can barely hear you. Sorry.
It's alright, Pimz was just wittering.
We're allowed to ask 5 questions.
Well, we should probably discuss amongst ourselves what they should be then. Well, obviously, who is the person from the note whose initial is S would be a good one.
Yeah. I would ask him just 5 times what the hell he thought he was doing. But that's just me.
I'm going to interrupt the conversation and I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy. Again, I'm going to use 2 of its effects.
Okay.
And I'm going to alter the appearance of my eyes. And I'm going to use the sound, and I'm basically going to make my eyes retell the pictures from the walls.
Oh.
And I'm going to do the sound effects and the sort of the tale of the pictures. And I'm just going to sit there and kind of try and do a bit of a slideshow with my eyes. Okay. This is really cool, guys. You want to hear this story?
That's not true, Hester. Hester, that's not true. Who told you those lies?
I'm pretty sure it is true. It was right there at the wall.
Can you stop blinking?
Sorry. You're missing bits. I'm going to try really hard to keep my eyes.
There's a scene change.
They're very hard to follow.
So what was there before there was light?
Well,
what would be there before there was light?
There was. I didn't ask.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everything I can to prevent myself from running back to ask that question.
No, we can ask another day, but just think, before there was light.
I think it was heavy. Before there was light.
Oh. Oh, Pimz is so special.
Afara does, the followers of Afara are philosophers, so just saying, heavy light.
Yeah.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Balance is important.
Yeah.
That's really impressive, that thing you're doing with your eyes, Hester.
It's cool, isn't it?
Mesmerizing.
It's really cool. I think it's mainly cool because the story is so impressive, you know.
You've gathered. If you're doing this in the courtyard inside the barracks, then yeah, you've gathered a few trainees with this little display.
Okay.
Well, maybe you could tell our story with your eyes.
Oh, I'm going to switch to that, and I'm going to show pictures of the Underdark.
Okay. Let's see. For this
going to show Pimz? Are you showing Pimz destroying the book when he was told not to?
Yeah, I'd be.
For this one, would you make a performance roll, Hester? Since it's a story that your audience are not all of them are familiar with.
Natural 1. That's a 2.
Okay.
I still can't follow.
Okay, you're Yeah. Even though
It is-
it's like a Ronnie Corbett story. It's full of little digressions
Is
into.
it not like showing somebody your family snaps for your holiday? Like
Yeah.
loads and loads of but we did this, and
Yeah.
this one's
Yeah.
exactly the same as the last one.
Full of intricate detail into things that aren't all that important and
I
little.
can zoom into a stone that I
Yeah.
tripped over.
Yeah, some of the trainees look a little bit confused, but yeah, they're okay. Yeah, you don't build up much more of an audience than that. Then. Okay.
So, so Hester, did you hear? We've got 5 questions tomorrow to ask. To ask the scum of the earth that we killed.
Okay. So what do you want to ask?
How can I kill him again?
You are keen.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Maybe other people might want to ask some stuff.
Do these questions have like full answers, or
I
is
don't
it
know.
yes, no
We have to
kind
ask
of thing?
Titos.
Oh, yeah, Titos. You can get full answers. They're not
That's good.
necessarily the truth.
Well, that's useful.
Well,
Considering he follows Fana.
well,
Fana.
no more than sort of like everything you were told by all the people at temples was necessarily the truth.
Can
Priest.
They told you, Hester, lies. It was all lies.
Can I double up on the spell? So while Titos is casting with the dead,
Mm-hmm.
can I cast command on him to make him answer honestly?
Ooh, I'm gonna say no because command targets a living.
Oh, he's undead. No.
Yeah. Speak with dead. It specifically targets a corpse.
Maybe we should think of something clever to ask him, which wouldn't sound like he was giving anything away.
Do you recommend any good shrines to visit near the city? Oh, that kind of thing.
Sort of. I was hoping for something a bit more sneaky, but we could ask him why he wanted to stop us and not recruit us. Because I'd want to know that. Because if I've worked with him before, wouldn't it have made sense for him to try and recruit me rather than,
Maybe, unless he knew that you were one of the ones that was trying to stop things. I don't know.
Yeah.
So this could take weeks trying to think of intelligent questions to ask.
Can I just pick him until he tells us the truth?
Oh, could I do that too? No.
I'd like a piece of that action.
Does Titos have to be in sight of Cadmus? Cadmus has to be in sight of Titos, but does Titos have to be in sight of Cadmus? Could we do it so Cadmus doesn't know that we've brought him back?
Titus says, I could stay out of the body's field of view. The spell merely grants a few breaths to respond. But yes, it may be worthwhile thinking about who you want to ask the questions. You may get a different response depending on who is asking.
I
Hey, maybe we could all ask the same question.
The-
Yes. And we could all act
Yes.
our own inimitable ways.
The impression I gave him while he was dying was that I was trying to save him. I cast Spare the Dying on him.
How
so he
good's
might
your
believe me.
how good's your deception?
Shall I find out?
Yeah, because I was wondering whether you could maybe pretend to be another follower of Fenax. Titus might be able to give you some.
Hey, I'm really good at deception. And I don't think me, because I was at the back hiding behind the barrel. I mean, being brave behind the barrel.
So
He
maybe
hasn't seen me. I could pretend.
he's not seen you, and he's seen me trying to save his life.
Well, you
So-
could both be there and
Yeah.
and say that you've rescued him.
Oh, wait a minute. No, he's going to know who you are. Because you've been parading up and down, taking your shirt off, getting everybody's attention.
Yes, but
When
then
all
that's
the crowds were there at the beginning, I hid from everybody. When they were all cheering as we came out, I hid.
he knows
It's not
who
really
we are.
good, so he probably won't know me.
He did. He's seen us all at the inn, and I
Oh.
introduced him to it. But he didn't know that he wouldn't have known if you were a Fenax worshipper. So maybe you can go, I saved you because, and then where do we need to take you to, and he might say.
So which one of us? Do you mean me? Because he might believe that I was trying to save him. Well, I was trying to save him, but he might believe that's why I was trying to save him. So do you want me to go in?
I don't like the deception.
Okay.
What
But
about giving him
he follows lies, so it might be the only way to get him.
What about giving him an opportunity to do some good in his, well,
Oh,
no, I mean,
Yeah.
if Soul's going to Erebos and he's been working against Erebos.
He doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe he's going to Erebos. He told me that Fenax would bring him back.
Titus
Yeah.
interrupts. The spell does not bring back the soul. It merely reanimates the body temporarily. It will have access to the memories of the dead person. But
right.
there is no redemption for such a thing. It is just a way. It is a way of extracting some of the last memories of the deceased.
Shade doesn't lie. Derekles doesn't like deception. Sorry.
I just said I haven't lied up to so far.
Ah, okay.
I mean, it's not really my thing. Well, I get, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I just worry that Titus would bring him back and I'd kill him again.
Titus isn't bringing him back.
Well, even having him speak near me is just too much.
Okay.
Are you going to spend the evening in the barracks, or are you going to?
I thought we were going to Pimz's house.
I want to go to Pim's house.
Yeah, we like the bath there.
And lots of
And the food was good.
And the beds. Oh,
I know.
I think, you know
We
what?
had nice sheets.
Today has been such a total blowout. I feel like we should just go to the pub, have some drinks, and then we can go in late, and then we don't have to bump into my family. We'll be asking all kinds of questions. We'd have a midnight supper and then straight to bed.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's a plan. So, let's see. As you leave the barracks, then heading for the inn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to go to the same one?
Can everybody
No.
make perception checks, please?
11.
Okay.
13.
13.
8.
8.
15.
15.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's all that sparring earlier.
Yeah. So, Pimz, you're wandering. The four of you are heading through the streets, and Pimz, as you're like turning to chat to the others, you notice out of the corner of your eye a figure duck into an alleyway. Probably wouldn't have even noticed it. I mean, there's plenty of people about. You probably wouldn't even have noticed it if it didn't catch your eye as someone trying not to be seen.
And what did they look like?
It was a short, slim figure.
Human?
Hard to tell. It was wearing a cloak and hood.
Okay.
Not that unusual because it's a
Merlin.
seaside town, and when in the evening when the wind changes, it
so
can get.
no identifying features, just somebody who looked like they
You
were
just
actually-
caught sight of a cloaked figure, sort of like pull back behind a corner as you were turning, and it just caught your eye.
Okay, I'm just going to lean across to Shade and say, I think we're being tailed.
Which way?
And I'll point in the direction.
I'd like to stealth over that way. See if I can.
Make me a stealth roll, please.
New dice. Can't see what it says. Oh, there we are.
You need a special dice spotlight.
I know. 19.
Okay. You go round the back of a basically you go around the back of a block of buildings and come into the same alley that Pimz described from the back, and as you approach you can see that there is peering cautiously round the corner there is a figure in a green hooded cloak.
Are they following me? I mean, not.
No,
the
no,
person-
they're
and the rest of them.
waiting
No,
in.
the rest of them.
Oh.
The rest of the party. Are they
I
staying
presume
where
you
they were?
left
They're
them
following.
behind because they will hamper your stealth efforts.
Yeah. Okay. Are they facing me or facing the other way?
Well, you can't see them from here. You would have to be peering around the same corner that this person is peering around.
No. Is the person facing me? Are they
Oh,
peering
no.
around the corner at me, or are they behind?
Sorry, I'm. Yeah, you are behind them. You have gone round the back. You've come up behind them. They are presumably still looking at the other three,
Right.
and they have not noticed you.
I would like to draw my weapon and place it very carefully in the back and say to them, "What are you doing?"
You hear a gasp, and then a female voice says, I'm sorry. You must be Shade.
I think you should come out and meet the rest of my friends.
The figure nods, and slowly steps out from the. So the rest of you see this figure, where where Pimz was pointing, you can see this figure, to be honest, not doing a very good job of hiding, and now it steps out into full view, followed by Shade holding her short sword. And Shade marches her towards you. This person is short. Under the hood, as she gets closer, she's an attractive young woman, dark-haired. She is her hair is curly and black. Curls of hair poking out from under the hood. She is wearing a fairly nondescript robe. And Pimz, you recognise her. This is Penelope, your beloved.
Hey!
God, she was nearly going to be missing a kidney, so...
Yeah.
Look what I found.
Never.
She looks at you, Pimz. I'm sorry, Pimz. I wanted to speak to you. I knew that you were... I heard about your adventures, and I knew that you were working with the Reverend Army. So I followed you from the barracks.
Understandable. I'm very heroic. I'm very heroic now, Penelope. What do you think of that?
I must be honest, Pimz. I was impressed. I knew when you left so suddenly to go to Akros, I wasn't sure what to think. And when I heard the tales of your victories in the gladiatorial arena, I thought you were seeking after glory. But then, when I heard what you did here in Meletis, it made me think. And so, I came to ask for your help.
So is it help with, like, sending all the gifts back? And, like, cancelling all the arrangements? Because I'm fine with that.
I'm sorry, Pimz. You weren't here, and things have moved on. But I do not want to hurt you, but it is very important that my wedding goes ahead. Do you understand?
I think I do, and I'm going to look at across at Hester and go, coercion.
Can I?
And then I'm going to look back and I'm going to say, I do understand, and you can't hurt me because that's my friends, but I'm unscarable.
That is true. When you say it's really important that your wedding goes ahead, are you saying because that would make you happy, or because that's something that you have to do?
It is something I have to do. Let me be clear, she says, and her face hardens a little. I have worked very hard to engineer this wedding, and I do not want it to be disrupted.
Right.
But I have heard that somebody may be working to disrupt things. I don't mean you, Pimz. My contacts tell me that there are forces within the city working to undermine the polis. And I am concerned that my forthcoming wedding, which would go a long way to healing certain rifts within the council and stabilizing the governance of Meletis, someone may try to interfere with this process.
Penelope, are you getting married as some kind of political manoeuvre?
Oh, it's always politics, isn't it?
Of course,
That's my
yes, of course I
parents.
am. Have you?
And is that making you happy?
It is satisfactory. It is something I have worked towards for a long time.
You know, when you imagine yourself in the future, maybe sitting down in the evening, kind of having a meal, you know, just enjoying your time, who do you picture being with, just sharing that time?
I don't really think about that. Not at the moment. There is much work to do.
Can I do an insight
Would
check?
you like?
Does she have feelings for Pimz? Am I getting any vibes? Can I do an insight check?
You can, yeah. Make a roll.
Oh, I don't know shit.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't we? Look, I can tell you more, but why don't we go and find somewhere more private than the middle of the street? And I am. She turns to Shade. I am sorry to have alarmed you, but I was waiting for the opportune moment.
Oh, you nearly didn't have any moments left after that.
Well, I was fairly confident that I was not about to be murdered in broad daylight, but yes.
I've met Shade.
Can I just pull Pimz to one side? Are you doing all right there?
I'm fine.
Look, I know it probably won't help much, but I've got this spell, and just for a little while, you just might not feel so crappy. Do you want me to cast it?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
All right, I'm going to cast Calm Emotions on him, just so that for a little while he doesn't.
Okay.
Doesn't
I'd like
hurt
to
much.
say to Penelope,
Pimz, for the Hester gestures, and you are suddenly overcome with a sense of clarity and the pain of looking at Penelope's face and thinking about her spending time with somebody else recedes, and you do find yourself able to evaluate her words a little more objectively. Okay.
Plenty more fish.
can I say
What did you
something to
say, Shay?
Penelope?
Yeah,
What did
she's
you
just
say?
you're all kind of standing around her in the
Okay.
street.
I'll just
People are
lean
filing
forward to her and go,
around you.
get married. It, seems fine to do, but you don't have to stay with him. Maybe it's his time to shuffle off this mortal coil. Just think about it.
She looks she looks alarmed at you. Do Do not dare think about that. I have worked for years to put this wedding together.
No, I meant after you get married. So it's an option.
Come on, let's go and find somewhere to we can talk. I know a place. And she...
I'm gonna grab Derekles' arm and say, I do not like her.
I don't know. I mean, don't know what's going on, really.
She leads you a short distance to...
Hold a sec. I can do ear for deceit. I want to see if she's lying to us.
Okay. Yeah, make... does that gives you a...
It doesn't really. It just means if when I roll, it's a minimum of an 8.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So you okay?
On an insight.
You feel free to make an insight check, if you'd like.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, okay. You think she's on the level. You think she is harbouring genuine feelings for Pimz, but she is suppressing them in order to accomplish her ulterior goal. She's clearly got some plan in mind that she's really invested in, and even her feelings for Pimz are not going to get in the way of it.
Wow.
Yeah, you have
no idea why people do that.
You have a flash of insight. You just as she's talking, you just see a momentary sort of like conflict of emotions ripple across her face, and you really feel that those are that moment that you glimpsed was genuine.
Right.
So she leads you all to a tavern, a bit more upmarket than the one that you were frequenting of late.
Does this one have straw on the floor?
It does have straw on the floor. It is divided. It's basically there's a frontage onto the street, and then inside there's an open courtyard where people are standing around and chatting, and then off the courtyard there are a whole series of booths all around the courtyard, and she speaks to the innkeep and is shown to an empty one. So basically you've got a little table, 3 walls around you, and this open square in the middle.
Before we get to the table, I let Pimz know what what I gleaned from my flash of insight.
What are you going to say to Pimz?
It's not my area of expertise, but there's something up. She's being genuine, but I think she really does feel for you.
Yeah, well, maybe we're just travelling in different directions.
Don't know. Maybe she's got some agenda in mind that with you would spoil. I don't know, but
even through the spell, Pimz, you feel a little flicker deep inside at that thought. It's calm emotions, not suppress emotions.
Oh.
We'll see.
Well, let's see what she has to say.
We'll see how heroic we can be.
But your friends are standing with you.
Thank you, I do.
Okay. Penelope takes a seat. Pimz, as you watch her moving around the table, she seems, the way she moves and the way she holds herself, she seems a bit more tense than you remember her, though all those years ago when you were both younger. She seems to be, the way she moves is it's a bit more driven now and directed. She doesn't have that kind of carefree attitude that you always used to admire in her.
I'm just not going to say anything. I'm going to very, very deliberately kind of try not to look her straight in the eye. I'll let the others take a lead.
Yeah. So what was so important that you were risking losing a kidney over?
Well, Pimz, after you left, I joined the Temple of Ephara, and I have worked my way up the ranks. I have become quite an accomplished priestess, and as part of my work for Ephara, I have been looking to secure the safety and prosperity of the polis for all the people. As you may remember, there were your parents, Pimz, and mine always got on quite well, and therefore part of my work to further Ephara's goals has been to heal rifts with other members of the council who did not see eye to eye. So I have worked very, very hard to engineer a betrothal and a wedding between myself and the son of one of my parents' rivals in the council. I am fairly confident that this will heal a major division in the council. If we can get enough of the council on side, then we will have an awful lot more bargaining power. We will be able to get so much more done. Think of what we will be able to accomplish, Pimz.
You're sacrificing your personal life for politics.
Yes. But then you risked your personal life, your entire life, facing off against the Returned. It is when I realized that perhaps we had more in common than I had thought, Pimz.
I suppose we've just got different ways of being heroic. But I think mine will make better songs.
That is certainly true. That is certainly true. I see you have a lute now, Pimz. Do you play?
But I'm going to whip the lute out immediately. This one's called the girl with the dark curly hair. I'm going to start playing a little ballad.
make a performance roll. I'm gonna give you advantage on this one because of the subject matter.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I've got advantage. Oh no! Okay, I've got +3 on this, so that's 9.
Okay. It is. Well, everybody else. It is certainly heartfelt, but it is undermined by Pim's technical incompetence. So he is. There is potentially. So his singing is certainly good, but the lute is not properly tuned, and he sometimes gets the wrong chord, and so you sense that there is the beginnings of a lovely song there, but Pimz is going to need to work at it a bit.
I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy again.
Okay.
Create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of my choice.
Okay.
So it's going to come from the lute.
Okay.
And it's going to sound a lot better.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Okay then. Tell you what.
Timing am I now?
Hang on.
Is this? I'm lip syncing.
Well.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
If you want to, you can cotton on and just like pretend to play and let me do it for you.
In that case, Hester, can you make a performance roll, please?
16.
Okay. In that case, yeah, it starts out as kind of like oh, that's sweet, but as Pimz goes on, sort of like those sort of like out of tune strings and occasionally the wrong chord are masked by an actually a really nice little tune, and it's almost it's quite impressive because it's almost more elaborate than you would expect from like one person playing a lute. And yeah, so you perform quite a heartfelt little ode to your faraway love.
I'm just gonna
make a
nose and mouth. I've got your back, dude.
With Shade, since you've been paying attention to this, could you make an insight check?
Oh dear. 9. Sorry.
Okay. Do you think she probably likes it? Okay.
I'll applaud loudly when he finishes.
Yes, he's finished. I'm applauding because he's finished.
Penelope looks at her lap for a moment as she's applauding, and then sort of like just touches her face and so based on what my contacts have been able to tell me, the wedding, which I'm sure I needn't remind you is in 2 days' time, we have taken every precaution to make sure that that both our households are well protected. But part of the ceremony, as you know, is for us to ride in the chariot from my home to his, and symbolically become part of his household. Now, this is the greatest point of risk. If we were to be attacked somewhere on that journey, it's not that far, but the route does bring us down the hill, through the agora, and then back up into the villa district. That, I think, is the most vulnerable point. I know that you have... Obviously, you are invited, Pimz, already. I will extend that invitation to all of you, but I would ask you to come prepared, if you would. I fear that this union is so important to the polis that the forces that have been working to undermine it are quite likely to try to attack us. And although I am a reasonably accomplished cleric, I am no warrior. And I was so relieved to hear that you were in town, Pimz, especially when I heard news of your exploits. So, do you think that is something that you could help me with?
Forgive me, could I ask some questions? I have 3 questions.
Please.
Who are you actually marrying? Because I don't think I've been told that.
Sorry, I have to
Sorry, Pip.
consult my notes. Right, sorry. I am marrying Macairos Almeida. The Almeida family are one of the richest families in the city. They hold both Macairos' father and mother hold seats on the council, but they have long been fierce enemies of my mother and father, which is why it was so hard to arrange this marriage. Macairos, bless him, is not the sharpest tool in the box. He at least was easy to work with, but it took considerable persuasion to bring his parents around to the idea that we were getting married.
Well, who do you believe is working against you?
I'm uncertain. There is some... There is some group within the city that has been spreading rumours about various council members. Your father, Pimz, for example, has been the target of a number of smears. Obviously, I knew they were false. He has had to work very hard to defend his name and has to try to clear his name. There have been accusations of slave dealing, for example. One of the other families on the council has been the subject of rumours about worshipping Morgis. There have been a lot of those. Those are the most significant ones. There have been many, many more, much less significant. But there is definitely some sort of organised effort to smear the council and key members of the temples and the guard.
I mean, that would explain why he acts like he's got a pole up his arse. I kind of feel sorry for the old man now.
This last year, it has been very difficult. The council has become somewhat fractured, unable to agree on things. It is harder to accomplish anything. Even the simplest decisions have been argued over.
Look, Penelope, you were always the clever one.
Oh.
If you think this is the right thing to do for the city, I believe you. And I'll try my best to help.
I knew that it would hurt you, Pimz. Even though I assure you I am not marrying for love. But this is important, not just to me. This is important for the future of the polis. And I'm just sorry that it causes such pain.
Hester, you got any more of those spells?
Yeah, you got it. I'm going to cast it again.
Sorry, Lady Penelope, I did just have one final question. Is in your work as a priestess and with all these political dealings, is there a lot of paperwork involved with this political dealings that are going on?
There is always a lot of numbers to check and agreements to sign to get anything done. Yes.
You don't think there's anything amongst that would show any interference by outside forces, or?
Oh, you mean evidence of wrongdoing? Any evidence that we have come across, we have turned over to the Temple of Heliod, but there has been precious little, to be honest. Whoever was behind this, they told their lies well.
Well, of course, I will be happy to assist Pimz in anything that we could do to uncover the problem and keep you safe on your wedding day.
Thank you. She replies to you, Derekles, but she's watching Pimz.
Shade, Hester, are you in to help?
I need some time to think about this.
Of course.
I'm not entirely convinced in the right thing. I need to think on it.
I'm sorry. let me give you some time to think. And she gets up and walks a short distance away, hails the innkeep, hands over some coin. The least I can do is buy you a meal, and she looks at Pimz. Please consider it. You know where to find me. And she turns and walks away. Okay. The innkeep brings wine and bread and some bowls of fruit and vegetables, and so you can.
Can I have a pint of semi-skimmed, please?
Yep, they will. Basically, yeah, they'll bring pretty much anything that you ask for. You actually get quite a nice big bowl of goat's milk.
See this classy. That's what she is. She's classy. Yeah. Might be nuts to be doing what she's doing, but it's a great meal. That's class.
That's
It
money.
is, my friend. It is, my friend.
Yeah.
I'll pat you on the shoulder.
Oh.
I am totally just into the food and trying to obliterate how I feel with lots of food.
Do these
So do
people
we-
not
do we-
realise how
It's
short
really
life
going
is?
protein now, you know. I'm not.
Apparently
stupid.
not.
Do we think then that this group spreading rumours could be connected to the lying god, Fenex? Do
Yes.
you think this is all connected in some way?
Yeah. I think if you've got people spreading rumours about slavery, let's take them out. Let's forget about the wedding and whatever Penelope's doing. Let's get these. They need dealing with, and I'm well up for
Well,
that.
that's a question to ask tomorrow as well.
Yes, good idea.
Whether he was planning to go to a wedding, or whether
Yeah.
Very good
um,
idea.
One good thing, though, is that we know that there's quite a lot of paperwork going along with this political stuff, so that a pen would be a good gift.
we need to take something.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah. I suppose.
Oh.
I don't know if it's- I
Nod
don't know if it's the effect-
sagely into my beer.
I don't know if it's the effect of the calm emotion spell, but the pen idea is it's winning me over.
Are you warming to it?
I am.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Pimz.
That's okay.
I kind of
It
suck.
all seems very complicated.
Yeah.
Dealing with stuff like this is normally a lot simpler. Well, in my line of work.
Maybe she's just not that into me.
No, I think she is, but
Yeah. Maybe we should have met 5 years from now. And any of the cliches I can think of.
I've been reading a lot, and maybe you could be her. I think it's called Bit on the Side. Is that?
Bit on the side of
what
what?
I heard? What?
She's a lady.
I didn't realise there was a sort of
Yeah.
subtext to that. I just thought maybe that's what people do.
Unless your father suddenly becomes big enemy with Penelope's parents, then
That's an idea.
it's a weird way of arranging marriages based on
Yeah.
who your parents hate.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me. But she's heard about my exploits, so that's a good start. So what we need is more exploits.
Well, let's take these shifty people out. Let's see what we can find out in the morning. Let's try and get rid of them.
Yeah.
I'm not marriage is important, and it's the law. You don't break up marriages. Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't have a problem dating widowers.
You don't think it might be an idea to speak to? Well, we could sort that out. Speak to your dad if you explain what she's doing. So surely.
I don't like talking to my dad at the best of times.
Yeah, but then you'd be talking about stuff that he knows about.
Would you talk to him for me? You're my
I know.
manager.
Politics isn't my thing. It's all too much talking and not enough stabbing.
I think the action bit is the best way around it. I mean, if Pimz becomes hero of the city, then maybe he'll become a better prospect. You're already like semi-hero of the city, but if you're like at statue raising levels of fame, then
yeah, I like that.
Then maybe you'll be unturndownable.
Would it be a bare-chested stat?
What? Probably, yeah.
I'm going to nudge Hester and roll my eyes.
I'm going to roll mine right back. You've frozen, Pimz.
It's a statue pose.
The statue is already... Wow, I'm going to message him in case he hasn't realised yet.
Hopefully he'll rejoin us in a moment.
So, is that 2 intelligent questions we've now got? Or yeah. Are you? Who is S? And are you planning? Were you planning to attend a wedding?
Yes.
3 more questions.
Well, let's assume that Pimz has gone to visit the little boy's room for the moment.
Can we take a comfort break?
Yeah, we can have a quick. Sorry, it's getting quite late, isn't it? Yeah, we'll have a short, slightly off-centre break, and then we'll wrap up this episode with some more planning or possibly some action.
Yeah, too much thinking to know.
Okay.
Too much thinking, not nothing.
Right. Thank you for joining us on the stream. We will be back in 5 minutes or so. See you in a minute. Okay, welcome back. The party are enjoying a good meal in a good inn in the city of Meletis, and you're discussing questions to ask in the morning.
I've thought of
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
What is it that sort of roguey people have? Is it called a stash or something, where they keep their valuables and things? So I was wondering if we should ask where his stash is, because
Yeah.
I thought that if he's got a lot of cash or whatever lying around,
we could have
Uh,
that.
donate it to the temples. But also, he may have items that have been given to him by his employers that we could use to find them or trace back to them or something.
That's a really good idea.
Apart from the giving to the temples bit.
Well, I don't know, but that seems like a good idea to me. But
Make good use of the money, wouldn't they? I'm sure. The decent people.
Should we ask Titus if he's got any ideas for questions as well?
maybe.
Who's going to ask the questions? Who's likely to elicit a decent response? Is it Titus himself, do you think?
I don't know. Perhaps he's not emotionally invested in it. And I don't know.
Sorry. Just a sec.
Well, maybe we should sleep on it and see in the morning whether he has any suggestions or whether we can think of anything else.
Okay. I think that's a good idea. It's getting late, isn't it?
Mhm.
Pimz, are you going to be all right? Do you need some company? Should we all go back to yours, or would you rather be on your own?
Oh, you're very quiet, Darren. Sorry.
Trying this new mic.
It's all the emotion.
I think...
Can you hear me?
Yes, you need to be quite close to it, though.
Hello.
That's better.
Do you want some company? I'm not going to keep casting calm emotions because I don't want it to be something that you rely on. But, you know...
You get addicted to it.
Well, that was my concern, is that it's a pretty powerful spell.
I think it would be nice to have some company. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. Is anybody else coming?
Yeah, of course we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look after.
Pimz,
Let's go.
I'm not up on politics. It seems like a son to me. But if you want somebody killing, then you know, that's my thing.
I kind of feel that probably knows what she's doing. As crazy as it may seem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no crazy is the thing is it definitely seems crazy to me. Life is too short for all of this politics.
Hmm.
Well, lives are definitely short and fun weather around.
So, are you heading back up the hill towards Pim's parents' villa and the luxurious comforts of home?
Hey, Pimz, why don't we have a race back up there? Take your mind off it.
Go!
Okay.
Make athletics rolls, both of you.
1.
Oh no!
Hester, will you join in?
Well, I got was that 6?
Yes, athletics.
22.
Oh, can
Wow.
we join in?
Too
Yeah,
fast,
if you want.
Johnny.
Yeah, the other two.
Go for it, Shade.
Derekles unfortunately stumbles over a paving stone just as as Pimz takes off.
Right, that was athletics. That's
Yeah.
unnatural 20. So
Okay,
not far.
you are close behind Pimz. Hester?
I am a little bit uncomfortable about the conversation we've had in the pub, and I don't want to run. I just want to
Okay.
have a think and hold back.
Okay, well, in which case, by the time you arrive, you will find Pimz and Shade kind of like leaning on the gatepost, a little out of breath, and Derekles a little more out of breath.
Yeah. I can't believe you beat me in armour. Although you did have a head start. I'll let you up. You had a head start.
Well, you know, it's the training. You'll get there.
Yeah, I had a bit of a calf twinge when I started off, so I had to take it a bit steady. But
You maybe
Yeah.
drank your milk a bit too
Yeah.
fast.
Well,
it
I'm
did
still-
warm up before we did it, of course. So
And I'm still recovering from an ACL, you know, but yeah, it probably was your calf.
oh, well done, Pimz. It was a good race.
Thank you.
I'll have to do that again.
Yeah. Go!
Where you go now?
Pimz is just off down the street.
Back down the street or into the house?
Pimz, you're just running. It felt good.
Yeah.
The endorphins
Yeah.
mask the emotional trauma, and
If in doubt, work it out.
yeah.
Chase after him again.
Meanwhile, at the gatehouse, one of the servants recognises you and says, "Would you like to stay the night? Is Master Pimz coming?"
He was here a second ago. He'll be back in a minute.
I'm sure he will. You're shown into the guest rooms.
I come back.
Yeah.
Oh, time for some supper.
Jog up behind you.
Yeah, you can get the kitchen. You can get the kitchen staff to bring more food to your room.
Yeah,
Are his parents there?
I don't know.
Pimz is taking pains to avoid the main house, so the guest rooms are in this kind of like little like annex, which is for when they have visitors to stay, basically. And so sort of like this is where you would stay, and Pimz has just decided to sleep in with you rather than in his own room in the house.
Yeah,
In that case,
like slumber party.
Kind
oh,
of.
no, he's doing all right. No, we're good.
Oh, I thought of another question.
Yeah.
Are there any more returned in the city?
Yeah.
You might know if he's been working.
Or we could be even more specific and say, where are the rest of the returned in the city? So that if there are some, he might give us more.
Okay.
Did we keep any of the masks? Or did we
That's
sell
all.
them all?
No, I think we
Oh,
gave
yeah.
some of them away. I think we did.
I'm trying to remember what you did.
We recorded
I
some
know,
more,
but I didn't think we needed to use all of them, did we, for your armour? Or did we use all of them?
We
think-
used all.
For Pim's armor, that was the first combat with returned. That was
No,
before.
his second lot of armor.
Oh, his second lot of armor. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He does seem to do shopping quite a lot. That's another option. Maybe we could make a fake returned mask, and then somebody wear it and then speak to him. Or what would? Do I know? Does Hester know, because she's read it, anything about Fanax? Maybe somebody could pretend to be Fanax. Would that make a difference?
That'll be sacrilegious. I don't know.
It does seem dangerous. I don't want to get on the wrong
The
side.
word is fun. The word is fun. Go on, one day.
I get a lot of fun out of reading and playing with like minor spells. I'm a little bit wary of getting into, I don't know, it seems big. That seems, bigger than I'm used to.
No, I don't know.
Very scary.
Okay, so you can spend a comfortable night at Pim's place, and in the morning, are you going to head down to the barracks and impersonate a god, or some other plan?
Well, we could ask. How about we ask Titus whether impersonating Fanax would be a good idea?
I feel like that was just going to be a straight no.
Well, it might not be.
Titus gives you a long look and says, "I wouldn't recommend it."
Oh, but that's not a no then.
Well, it is hard to go through life without doing something that is offensive to one god or another, but to actively insult the gods is unwise.
Would it not be actually in some perverse form worshipping Fanax if we lied to pretend that? I don't like the deception.
That is a question for the philosophers. Perhaps you should.
What about? I've got another question. What about if we ask if he knows if anyone on the council's behind all of this?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, maybe. Wouldn't it be great if it...
Too quiet, Darren.
You don't spell Penelope with an S, do you?
I was going to say, wouldn't it be great if it was that Almeida?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Take him out.
But didn't she say that he was a bit thick?
Yeah, I mean, it's Jack.
Oh.
You
that
definitely
would
need.
certainly rule out the son as a marriage candidate, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
But why'd want to sabotage the wedding?
Yeah, wasn't she like... Didn't you say something about what?
Sorry, Darren. You need to turn your gain up a bit.
I think it's like... I don't really know what I'm doing with it.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. I think you're talking into the side of it.
Yeah.
Turn it 90 degrees.
I have done.
Okay, that's better. Thank you.
A little bit better, yeah.
Hey, hooray. I can't remember what I was saying.
You were plotting the downfall of your beloved's
I'm all
betrayed.
confused though, because didn't she say like how he was an enemy anyway? And
Of
she
her
wanted to
family,
heal
yeah.
her?
No. Doesn't make any sense. If you've got an enemy, then you do away with them.
Yeah. Yeah, like well, oh no. Oh,
No, sure you do.
I think I need some sleep. That's what I need. I need sleep. All these spells have gone to my head.
I'm sorry. I thought I was helping, but
Just one more hit before bedtime.
What?
No.
When you're just about ready to go to sleep.
Hang on a sec. Did Pimz ask for a hit? I can do that.
That's one way to get to sleep.
Not that kind of hit.
when you're sort of sleepy and getting ready to go to sleep, I'll cast it again so that you know.
And if it doesn't work,
Relax.
I'll hit you.
We're all in the communal dorm.
Yeah.
You are, yeah.
Right. Slum party.
Okay,
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a bit. I'm getting a bit hot. I'm going to take the top off.
here we go.
Ah, that's better.
It is a warm night, but yes, the night passes uneventfully. You can have a long rest.
Long rest.
You can have a long rest.
Long rest.
Yay.
Well, this time I'm going to sleep with my feet to the wall and my horns sticking out the bottom of the bed.
That's marginally more comfortable.
And just as Pimz is dropping off, I'm going to cast Calm Emotions again.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
Next time you can hit him.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a bright, pleasant morning. What are you going to do?
Oh.
Oh, go and play with corpses. Come on, let's go to the barracks.
Okay, you head down the hill a ways to the headquarters of the Reverend Army.
Oh,
Where?
oh, I've got an idea. As for going down, I've got an idea. Our thug has now... Oh, I forgot to tell you. Our thug is now a follower of Erebos. Because, like all good people should do. We'll get him to talk to him.
Yeah?
Okay.
We could get him to ask the questions. Because he worked for him.
That might work. Trust him more.
His existence would be very short if he betrayed us. As Cadmus found out.
Okay.
So
Are you going to write down some questions for him to ask then? Or...
Well, we've only got 5 and you've got 3 million. So, no, you've got... Yeah, I've got no idea with questions.
I think we were up to 4, were we?
Oh, I thought we might have 5 by now.
Why don't we ask him what he aimed to get out of killing us, or what he aims to get out of... I just don't understand why he was trying to kill us. Yeah, but it seemed more personal. And
Was for you.
yeah, but you're my friends. So surely if it's personal for me, it's personal for you. No?
Well, yeah, but we didn't want to run over again. But
It's only what he deserved. I didn't do any more than he deserved.
Can we, like, make a note of all because Derekles had really good questions and I'm struggling to remember any of them. Can we, like, make a note of them all?
As you arrive,
and when I say
as you arrive at the barracks,
nobody bought me a pen.
As you arrive at the barracks, you're greeted by Titus, and he says, have you your questions prepared?
Sort of.
Well, and who is going to ask them?
Well, Shade came up with a clever plan on the way down here. Apparently you've got a new follower of Erebos. She was going to suggest that he ask them. As a friend
thought.
or an acquaintance of.
Would that make a difference?
It might if the departed spirit recognizes the person who is asking the questions. It is worth a try.
You mean I'm going to have to do it?
Well,
he
or
knows who I am.
Or Myron. I'm given to understand that this person knew both of you in life. But if you did not part on good terms, then perhaps Myron might be a better chance.
I think it would be a good way of him to prove his loyalty to us.
Well then, you should make it clear to him what questions you want him to ask.
Okay. So it was. Who is the act from?
Well, we know it's a woman.
Yeah.
So
well,
who is she?
Who is she?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Where is the location of the Ritter City?
Where is his stash hidden?
Yeah.
We could ask him that one first, and I can go and look for it while you're talking to him for the rest of the questions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is it likely to be
Okay.
rough?
I've got 2 questions now.
That's 3.
Oh, what was the third one? Sorry.
Where's the stash?
Oh.
Where are the returned? What was the first one? Who is
Who's
S?
this? Is it anything to do with the is it the council?
Yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, who on the council is involved with the returned?
And why were we targeted? You know, why didn't he recruit? I don't know.
Why is Pim's father targeted? Do we know that already?
Is he?
Because he's on the cabinet. So why
We
don't
were going to ask about whether he's going to go to the wedding, but
Oh yeah, I think that's a definite. We need to ask that.
Oh, was he going to go to the wedding?
Oh yeah.
How many have you got now?
Or what
As
does he
in
know
Cadmus.
about
6. We need to choose 5. Should we drop the one about the rich and just assume that there are still more in the city?
I don't know. Knowing where they were would be quite useful.
It would. So which one don't we need, or can we combine 2 of them
Well,
in a clever way?
what was the one about the count? I mean, if we're assuming that, we could combine it to who's targeting the council people with rumors.
Yeah, we were wondering whether it was somebody on the council.
Yeah, if he knows that and he was going to tell us, then if they were on the council, then that would still cover it, wouldn't it?
Do you mind reading the questions again, please?
I've only got 4 written down here. So I've got who is S? Where are the returned in the city? Where's your stash? Yeah.
You don't need any more.
Who on the council is involved in something?
What we
What
also
were the
need to
other
know
2?
is where his meeting was.
Yeah.
Because we know it's outside of the. Because it depends what he tells us with the other ones.
We had 6 questions. There are 2 of them we've not got written
One
down.
of them was going to the wedding.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
One of them was who put the ram in the Ramalama Dingo. If
That's
not, if
probably
it
the only one we
That's
get
all right,
straight
then.
answer out of.
if it isn't, it needs to be because I want to know the answer.
And what was the last one? How many questions is that? Is that 5?
I've got 5 so far.
Right, so there was one other, and then we need to, like...
Well, I think the other one was more specifically about why certain council people are bigoted.
So what was that last one you just wrote down?
Are you going to Lady Penelope's wedding?
What did you have written down for targeting the council?
Who on the council is involved?
See, I think that's
And
more
why?
important than because you might not have been going to the wedding.
Shall we
You
drop
might
the
have
wedding
sorted
question?
somebody else
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the where was the meeting going to be is more important than the wedding one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are the 5 questions we've got now?
Okay, well, I've now got who is S? Where are the returned in the city? Where's your stash? Who on the council is involved? And where did you meet S?
Where were you meant
Where we're
to
going to
meet?
meet them, yeah.
Where are you going to meet her? So do we need to know why the council are being targeted? Rather than who and why?
Is he not more likely to know who it is? If we know who, then we can find out from them why.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
thinking not the returns question.
Okay.
And replacing them with what?
Because, well, I just think we closed the portal to the underworld. I know.
Okay. Do you want to ask
Actually-
something in place of that?
Well, why don't we
I've got-
leave if we do the most important ones first? Do one first to get, to see how it goes. Do important ones and leave, and then the other ones to afterwards. No.
So keep the questions we've got, but put them in. Decide the order we're going to ask in.
What order are you going to ask these in? Could be important.
Which one do you want to ask first, Shade?
I don't know. I would have thought about the meeting because at least we know that it's a woman. So if he doesn't tell us that, then we know he's lying to us.
So the who and where questions
Yeah.
about the meeting.
And then it also seems very sort of personal, sort of thing we would be asking.
Okay, so what are
maybe
your
leave the stash question till the end? Because that might annoy him.
Didn't we want to find out where he lived? There might have been information at his digs, which sort of goes with the stash thing too.
Well, yeah, we could ask where he lives instead of the stash, because he might well hide his stuff there.
We're so decisive.
Yeah. We know he's going to lie to all of them. So.
I've got like a calibration question. So
I have some concerns about asking him where he lives because where he lived, because this guy who's asking the questions might already know that. Oh, in which case he could tell us, couldn't he? So we need
I didn't ask doing that one.
We need to check how much he knows first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak to the prisoner again? Says Captain Phaedrus.
Yeah.
I'll take you down. And he leads you down to the cell where Myron is still recovering on his pallet. You again.
Is this guy in any fit state to ask questions?
Well, he's only asking a dead dude. Can't be that hard.
Well, do you want to ask him first about Cadmus?
Do you know where Cadmus lived?
No, as I said, never met him at home. But I know that it was somewhere near the docks. He was always very quick to arrive whenever we were meeting at the docks.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we should.
What I don't understand. What do you want me to do?
You're gonna have to talk to him. We're gonna give you some questions. You're gonna ask him the questions. He's gonna answer. We're gonna listen.
Wait, ask who?
Cadmus.
Cadmus.
You killed Cadmus.
Yeah, he's dead. That really
Twice.
doesn't stop us, dude.
Twice.
It's not gonna stop us. We're gonna ask the questions. He's gonna answer you. Dead or otherwise.
He looks at you, Shade. Is this what it means to pledge to Erebos?
Not really. Erebos likes to keep, the dead dead.
This is what it means to mess with us, basically.
Yeah. That's more like it. You should have known that.
Well then, go on.
We think that
What
you would
must-
get more of a...
What must I do?
Titus is going to cast the spell. You're going to ask these questions one at a time, and that's the job. We'll listen.
Okay. What order are you giving him the questions in?
It was who is S?
Don't.
Where was the meeting with S going to be? Where did Cadmus live?
Well, no, we know that we don't need to ask that one because we know it's around the docks. We can find that out. Well, I think first, wouldn't it be more important to find out what he was planning or what the plans were? And also, was it anything to do with anybody on the council?
Yeah, okay.
And Chris has no poker face.
I would.
I wish I'd been looking. I don't know what I missed then. Can I make a suggestion then?
I just pull random faces all the time.
No.
What we could do is we could do a little bit of to-ing and fro-ing messaging, getting this all in the exact order we want, and that's where we could pick up next week, if
Okay.
that works.
I have never seen a
Just 'cause
party
I'm gonna
prepare
need to leave
so hard
because I've got-
for Speak with Dead. Okay, yeah, fair enough then. In that case, we will leave you gathered in the cells of the Reverend Army Barracks, carefully planning how to interrogate this undead spirit you're about to summon, and we will pick that up next week then. Okay. And a quick shout out to the kids who are hanging out in the chat right now. So, yes, they are.
Oh,
We should have asked them what question they would ask.
Maybe we should. I can't imagine that would have sped things up.
No, but they might have had a really good idea.
They may. They are very keen to know where he lived.
Oh.
So, thanks for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube or follow us on Twitch, and we will see you here, same time, same place, next week. Thank you very much.